All right, we'll call this meeting of the Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee to order. First business is approval of our October 14th minutes. Do I have a motion? All those in favor? All right, great. Action items, municipal court judges appointment, reappointment.
Thank you, Chairman Crane,
Yep.
committee members, staff. William Rimley, Municipal Court Director, and also Chief Judge Simon Gonzalez. We're here today to address the full-time judge appointments. And so, let's see if this is going to work. There we go. All right, so real quick, authority to appoint judges is under Chapter 30 of the Texas Government Code and also Section 10.3 of the City of Fort Worth Code of Ordinance. And so this is, again, for our full-time judges every 2 years on even years. We have 10 full-time judges. That includes the chief judge, deputy chief judge, 7 associates, and 1 vacancy that we'll talk about. So there's 9 occupied positions, 1 judge retiring and not seeking reappointment as of March 31st. That is Judge Carla Kelman. She has notified us that she is not seeking reappointment. We do want to take a moment to thank her for her service, almost 20 years as a part-time substitute judge, and then 4 years as a full-time judge. So we really appreciate that, her service. These are full benefit positions, and they're, again, appointed for 2-year terms on even-numbered years. The reason for this immediate recruitment process is that 1 judge retiring. And so there was overage position approved to fill the vacancy through March 31st, 2026. Creates an immediate operational need. And the temporary measures we've used to use part-time judges is not sustainable long-term due to the limit of hours and budget constraints. So our recruitment process was in January. Received 8 applicants for the position of municipal judge. We had 2 applicants withdraw. 1 was unavailable for interview. The other one was unwilling to work the shift, which is at our arraignment facility, i.e. the jail, from midnight till 8 a.m. We interviewed 6 applicants. The committee was Chief Judge Gonzalez. You'll see the other ones on there as well. The panel selected current substitute judge Karen Boyd Williams. Prior to being a substitute judge, she was also a substitute hearing officer for the city. And by selecting Judge Williams, a position for substitute judge will be vacated. And is to be filled at a future date. So these appointments will begin April 1st. Their current terms end March 31st. So our request is to consideration of approve the recommendation to reappoint 9 full-time Fort Worth Municipal Court judges for a 2-year term commencing April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2028. Approve the recommendation to appoint Karen Boyd Williams as a full-time municipal court judge from her current substitute position for a 2-year term commencing the same term. Then upon the city manager's office and my recommendation in concert, designate Simon Gonzalez as the chief judge for his consecutive term. And per Judge Gonzalez's recommendation, designate Andrew T. Bradshaw as deputy chief judge for a 2nd consecutive term. Approve the recommendation of the Human Resources Department and City Manager's Office with regards to setting judicial compensation. One note is the original posted agenda had a substitute position that we were looking at moving forward. We withdrew that. So I just want to note that for anybody online who saw the agenda prior. So these are the judges that we're bringing forth for full-time positions to begin April 1st. And I'm just going to go through these real quick, but we'd like you to note is simply these are by date of appointment. And so our current chief judge, Judge Gonzalez, is since 2002. Judge Bradshaw since 2006, who's the deputy chief judge. Judge Martinez since 2011. Judge Raquel Brown since 2012. Judge Summers since 2014. Of note that she was also a part-time judge prior to that appointment for many years. Judge Houston, who you heard from earlier in the prior committee and is with us, is 2018, as well as Judge Uwuchi. And then Judge Ganoza and Judge Henderson are our 2 most recent appointees. And then Judge Karen Boyd Williams, who again was a hearing officer for us for a short time and is a substitute judge currently. So from a judicial pay standpoint, working with HR and CMO, these are the recommendations for the next 2 fiscal years. This also includes the part-time judges based on the recommendation from the mayor and council prior. And so this moves us forward. As a reminder, every time we do appointments, we go out, work with HR to see the market, see what's appropriate. And so we base these recommendations on that. So again, the requested action today is to reappoint Andrew T. Johnson, Raquel Brown, Laura Ganoza, Judge Gonzalez, Joseph Henderson, Melanie Houston, Thaddeus Uwuji, Claudia Martinez, and Patricia Summers as municipal judges for a 2-year term. So these will all be reappointments commencing April 1st and ending March 31st. Appoint Karen Boyd Williams as full-time municipal court judge, she's currently substitute, for a 2-year term, that same amounted term. And then per city manager's office and court director recommendation, designate Judge Gonzalez as chief judge for a consecutive term. And just real quick, I want to note a couple accomplishments for our chief judge. So he did implement the youth diversion plan that was required by state law. He reinstituted a walk-in court 5 days a week rather than 3 days a week as it was before. He's ensured that all our court settings and operations, ensuring that the warrant reviews are brought up to date. He's revised the court rules. He's instituted cross-training and cross-scheduling for judges. A lot of work put into place, strong recruitment process, and then working with Tarrant County for 3 programs, the Veterans Treatment Court, in concert with them, the RISE program, which is Reaching Independence Through Self-Empowerment, and Department of Family and Protective Services, Our Community, Our Kids, OCOK. And so those are several things that he's done in his term in the last 2 years. And then adopt the recommendation, again, related to the setting of judicial compensation. Sorry about that. Next steps would be, if approved by you all, to recommend this afternoon's Mayor and Council work session to move these recommendations forward. And then March 10th, it would go to M&C to Mayor and Council. We would bring back to Council later to fill the vacant substitute position at a future time.
Any questions, committee?
Second.
You got a motion.
Yes, and I have some language to read in. On the item for municipal court judge's appointment, reappointment, and related salary recommendations, I move to approve municipal court judge's appointment, reappointment, and recommended salary, related salary recommendations, consideration recommendations on reappointment of 9 full-time judges, appointment of 1 new full-time judge, designation of Simon Gonzalez as chief judge, designation of Andrew T. Bradshaw as deputy chief judge, and related salary recommendations.
Great. Beck has a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Great. Motion approved. Thank you for your work on the court. Appreciate all those highlights that you made, and thank you all for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Committee.
All right. Anything else? Okay, future agenda item?
Yeah, we know that the Texas legislature allowed municipal courts to become the court of record for nuisance abatement properties. I'd like to get an update on where the city of Fort Worth is in creating that court and in handling those cases. I'd also like us to look at the possibility of including our enforcement of our boarding home ordinance in that court as well. And if state law doesn't allow us, then I'm looking at TJ to add that to the state legislative agenda for next time, to include that in the realm of possibilities that we can use municipal courts as the court of record to enforce.
All right. Anything else? Okay, meeting adjourned.